evening. Good evening. Oh, I'm going live. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. I am your favorite spiritual release coach. I am the one and the only Miss Lady V, feeling so classy and real sassy. And I just want to say thank you for this opportunity for coming in and sharing with me and learning how we can do what? Roar together. Not just roar in our greatness, but roar in our gratitude. And so that is what we're going to be doing tonight. I am Tivona Elliott, also known as Lady V. I am your favorite spiritual release coach, and I teach the ROAR method. I know you're wondering, well, what is the ROAR method, Lady V? Well, allow me to share with you. The ROAR method is learning how to release the old narratives, the old baggage, the limited beliefs, and the things that we continue to hold on to that no longer serve us. Learning how to overcome the obstacles that's standing in our way, because so many times we have so many things that is hindering us from being in our greater self. And then to awaken the rebel within, meaning that there's a little girl inside of you who is just waiting to roar, roar and roar and roar some more. Okay, and so this is your time to awaken the rebel with inside of who you are, and then do what? Rise to your greater self. So today we are going to roar in our greatness, but not just roar in our greatness. We're going to roar in our gratitude, because that's what this is about tonight, is being able to roar in our greatness and our gratitude. And so good evening, everyone. I'm truly grateful that you are here. And so come in the room, take a seat, get comfortable, all that good stuff with Lady V. And so today I want to talk to you about something that really changed my life. And it was not money, it was not success, it was not the titles that I carry, it was not the recognition, but I want to talk about the gratitude. Because gratitude is not something that you practice when life is good. Gratitude is what carries you when life isn't so wonderful, right? When life, what they say, when life is life, and so it's easy to thank God when the bills are paid. It's easy to smile when the doors are opening. It's easy to get your praise on and to thank God for all the things that's going on in your life when everything is going your way. But can you still be grateful when life breaks your heart? Can you still be grateful when you're hurting deep, deep, deep down on the inside? Can you still be grateful when you've lost people, when you've lost opportunities, when you've lost dreams, when you lost pieces of yourself? Because as mostly all of us have known, we sometimes, when life is lifing, we tend to lose a piece of who we are. And that's where gratitude becomes powerful. That's where gratitude becomes transformational. And that's where it's time to do what? Roar in your greatness. Sometimes we have to learn how to roar in our greatness when things ain't really going our way. Because when you can do that, then you can actually roar in your greatness. Even when the times, when what they say, when the bottles are popping and the things are doing really, really well. This is your time. This is your time to decide to choose you. This is your time to make you a priority. And so let's talk about, let's what they say, let's dive a little deeper into this thing and talk about releasing the old narratives and how we can do that. For so many years, I carried stories that was not serving me at all. They told me that I wasn't enough, um, that you don't have the support you need, that you don't have the resources, that you don't have the right connections. How many times have you heard those simple things, that you don't have something right, or that you are not enough, or that you have not, that you don't have the support that you really need? And if I'm honest, there are moments when I wondered, literally, if my dreams would ever happen. See, in 2009, I was diagnosed with lupus. And that diagnosis, it could have just really taken my identity, but I didn't allow it to. I decided that it was not going to make or break me. It could have become an excuse for me. It could have became the reason that I stopped dreaming. And don't get me wrong, there were days, and there are still days, when my body hurt and it tells me, you don't need to do this. There are still days when I am truly exhausted and I just can't do anything. I am so exhausted that I don't want to do much of anything, but I didn't stop. There are days when I question every single thing, but yet God kept whispering to me, keep going, Lady V. And it wasn't because it was easy. And it wasn't because purpose didn't disappear because the pain arrived. No. See, I had to release the narrative that my circumstances determined my future. I had to release the narratives that because life was hard, God had forgotten about me. How many times have we felt like God forgot about us? How many times have we felt like this maybe my prayers are not being answered? See, I had to release that. I had to release the narrative that the struggle meant failure. It doesn't mean failure. It doesn't mean that. And maybe someone here tonight needs to do the same thing. Maybe you've been carrying disappointment. Maybe you've been carrying rejection. Maybe you've been carrying that guilt. Maybe you even been carrying that grief. Well, today I challenge you to release it. I challenge you just to what? Let it all go. Because gratitude cannot fully grow in a heart that's holding on to bitterness. It's time for you to release the pain. It's time for you to release that shame. It's time for you to release the fear. It's time for you to release the old stories that you've been telling yourself. Because you have to understand that your next chapter, it deserves a better narrator. That means it is time for you to change the trajectory of what your story is and what it sounds like and what it looks like for you. And when you release all those things, now you can start overcoming the obstacles that's standing in your way. See, you have to understand that life has a way of testing us. And trust me, I faced so many obstacles that could have easily just stopped me right in my tracks. That, could have easily said, nope. And this is why. Because I live on a fixed income. I don't have a husband. I don't have any children. I don't have family members just lining up, just beating down the door, ready to just rescue little old me. And many people will look at those circumstances and say, well, how's she gonna keep dreaming? How's she gonna keep doing what she's doing when she don't have any of these things? But I'm standing here today telling you that gratitude taught me something so more powerful, so much more powerful, that you don't have to have everything to appreciate something. I'm gonna say that one, but hold on. Let me clear my throat and say it for the people in the back. You don't have to have everything to appreciate something. You don't have to have millions to feel blessed. Now, I ain't gonna say that it won't hurt. It won't help. It'll help you along the way. But you don't have to have those things to feel blessed or to feel rich. You don't have to have a crowd cheering you on to make you keep moving forward. Sometimes gratitude just means thanking God for the strength to take one more step. Just one. Take one more step. To get through one more day. To overcome one more opportunity. Because God is giving you one more chance to get it right. See, I remember the moments when it felt like doors were literally closing in my face. And the moments when support, they didn't show up for me. Hey, they might not even be showing up for me right now, but that does not mean that I'm going to stop. See, people gonna doubt you regardless of what it is that you're doing. And trust me, people don't want me to share my story. People doubted me so many different times, but this is the moment that I stopped doubting myself and realize that every obstacle becomes evidence that God is still working. He is still in the miracle business. He is still making way and making plans for you. And every obstacle that I overcame became proof that quitting isn't an option. See, some of you are looking at mountains today, financial mountains, health mountains, family mountains, business mountains. But gratitude changes your perspective. And so today I want you to, instead of you saying, look how big the mountain is, I want you to start saying, look how faithful God has been to me. See, when you can look at life like that, then you can do what? You can start to awaken the rebel within. See, there comes a moment in your life when you stop asking for permission to become who God called you to be. See, that's the rebel within. It's not being rebellious against God. It's just being rebellion against the limitations that's trying to hold you back. It's rebellion against the fear that's trying to tell you no. It's rebellion against the self-doubt that's trying to tell you that you cannot. It's rebellion against every voice that told you that it couldn't be done. It can. See, when my late partner, Jazz, and I, we started Elliott Night Professionals, and we had a vision. We both loved to create. We both were very creative. And we loved helping people tell their stories. See, we believe that stories have power. And then in 2019, everything changed. My whole life changed in a blink of an eye. Jazz was gone, and her loss was devastating. See, it would have been easy to let the dream die too. It would have been easy to just walk away and just say, no, I'm good. It would have been easy to say that I can't do this anymore. But gratitude reminded me of one thing, and that is the blessing isn't just in having the dream. The blessing is in carrying the dream forward so that I could keep going. That's what it is. And it's not because it wasn't painful. Believe you me, when I lost her, I felt like everything in me was gone too. But I understood that my purpose is bigger than my pain. And sometimes the rebel within just tells us, I will cry, but I'll continue to move forward. I'll hurt, but I'll continue to keep on pushing. I will grieve a little bit, but I'm going to keep on moving because that's what they would want me to do. And because gratitude isn't pretending that everything is okay, gratitude is recognizing that God is still good even when everything isn't. Even when everything isn't. And that's when I realized I found the strength within myself to do what? Rise to the occasion. To the occasion, meaning that now I can reach my destiny beyond all measures. I am a priority, and nothing can stop me from being in my greatness, from roaring in my greatness, from roaring in my gratitude. Nothing can stop me from doing that. This is where transformation happens. It's when you're rising. This is where ordinary people become extraordinary. This is where survivors become leaders. This is where pain becomes your purpose. See, this is where stories become movements. And for years, I dreamed of impacting 1.5 million people. See, we look at that and we always think, that's not possible. That don't even sound realistic. But for me, I call it purpose. Yes. See, I call it purpose because every great vision begins before anyone else can see it. When you rise, you don't rise because your circumstances are perfect. You rise because your faith is greater than your fear. You rise because your gratitude is greater than your disappointment. You rise because you understand that every setback is only preparing you for your comeback. This is your time to rise. This is your time to rise because God didn't bring you this far to leave you here. Some of us have survived things that should have destroyed us, that should have just taken us out. Yet, here we are. We're still standing. We're still believing. We're still breathing. We're still dreaming. We're still fighting the good fight. And that alone deserves our gratitude. See, gratitude changed my perspective. It taught me to thank God for what I have while trusting Him for the things that I don't. It taught me to celebrate my progress instead of obsessing over perfection because none of us are perfect. It taught me that to focus on the possibilities instead of focusing on the limitations that were stopping me. But most importantly, it taught me that every single day is a gift. Every breath is a gift. Every opportunity is a gift. Every lesson, that's a gift. Even the painful ones, yes, that too is a gift. Because some lessons only come through your storms. Some strengths only come through your struggles. And some wisdom only come through heartbreak. But some breakthroughs only come through persistence. The question is, what are you choosing today? What are you choosing to be in your journey today? So as I leave you today, I want you to remember this one thing, that your gratitude is not based on your circumstances. Your gratitude is based on your perspective. So when life gets hard, I want you to remember to roar in your greatness. Roar in your gratitude, meaning that release the old narratives and the old baggage and the limited beliefs. Overcome those obstacles that's standing in your way. Awaken the rebel within and then rise to the occasion, reaching your full destiny beyond all measures. And every morning when you wake up, I want you to say this declaration. I may not have everything that I want, but I am grateful for everything that God has already given me. I may have scars, but I still have my purpose. I may have faced some storms, but through it all I survived them. I may have been knocked down, dragged out, but guess what? I got back up. And I will not just exist. I will continue to roar in my greatness. I will continue to roar in my gratitude because gratitude is not weakness. Gratitude is strength. Gratitude is faith. Gratitude is your power. And today, it's time to roar in your gratitude. It's time to roar in your greatness and become everything that God created you to be. This is your moment to shine. This is what you're supposed to do. And if you are ready to roar in your greatness and roar in your gratitude, drop it in the comments and say, I am ready to roar. I am ready to step on my fear and step out on my faith because I am a priority and I deserve to be everything that God said that I could be. This is your time to roar in your greatness. Thank you for your time. Thank you for allowing me to come into your homes. Thank you for allowing me to share my knowledge with you and encourage you today to continue to roar in your greatness. I am your favorite spiritual release coach. I am the one and the only Miss Lady V. And hey, continue to make sure that you follow me. Thank you. You continue to be blessed. And remember, tell somebody that you love them today and roar in your greatness. Be blessed.